Welcome back, everyone. It's episode 4 of the Game, Sports, and Life in General podcast. It's Thursday, April 19th, 2018. I'm your host, Chubbles, back again. We've got Triple Rinse. We've got Lion Sword. Sup, dudes?
Howdy.
What's up?
It was really cold outside.
It is.
It's actually not that cold today, but I'm like effing tired of the cold.
It was like, what, 50?
Yeah.
Literally 3 days ago, it was snowing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
take it.
I'm not complaining about specifically the weather, like right at this exact moment. Like the weather today was probably fine.
You
but
just
I'm
want
tired.
spring to be here.
Yeah.
And be
I
done.
want spring to be here. Like it's baseball season. I'm ready for the weather to warm up and actually stop seeing snow every Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's also cool is tilling and getting your garden ready for this year, planting strawberry plants, and then having to go out every night and cover it so it doesn't get killed by the frost.
Yeah.
Why did you plant strawberries so early? That sounds like a dumb decision on your
It isn't early, though.
According to Mother Nature this year, it's super early.
This year it is. Crazy. All right. Let's dive into it. Guys, what you been playing? I'm going to start with Triple this week.
Stop playing Call of Duty. Played like one mission, the Predator mission on Wildlands.
So hold on, time out.
Okay.
Why did we stop playing Call of Duty?
Because it just wasn't fun anymore. There's a big update, and they jacked everything up. According to us, everybody else says that they fixed it, and it's unlimited sprint now in Call of Duty, which, it's been out, what, 3 months, 4 months? December, I think it was.
It came out in November. Well, you guys got it in November.
Right. So there's 3 months of playing a game where everybody comes at and like, okay, they should be showing up right here at this time. And then all of a sudden they're behind you because they can now sprint forever. And
Well, yeah, but so can you.
Well, but it eliminates, like, unlimited sprint was the perk of the airborne division. And once you've prestiged it so far, you can then have unlimited sprint. That was the perk of that specific division. Well, now
And
they've just eliminated
Giving it to
that.
everybody. Yeah.
Yeah. And the same with
Inventory.
Sorry to step on your toes.
No.
But, like the suppressor, the silencer that you attach on your SMG, that's another perk of the airborne division. Well, now that's something that you have to unlock, and you can also do it in other divisions as well. Like, the update to me seems like they've just kind of eliminated the need for divisions. Like, everybody can now do everything.
Yep. Same way with like Mountain Division. The specialty on that was be able to hold your breath while you're sniping to steady your movements. Now everybody can do it in any class, so there's no need for it.
Yeah.
And infantry, like I played that 99%, and I had a bayonet on my gun, and then all of a sudden, muscle memory, I'm going into a fight, and whenever I'm getting ready to stab somebody, and then all of a sudden I melee him and don't kill him. As where I had bayonet, I would kill him immediately. And now I'm like melee him, and they're gonna shoot me and kill me.
Yeah, because the bayonet is now an attachment that you have to unlock, right?
Yeah, you have to unlock, and everybody can have it.
Yeah. The changes didn't make any sense to me, and it was infuriating.
Yeah.
To be totally honest.
And then there was a perk that I specifically used with a prestige token. Basically, you can use this token, and it will keep your whatever you used it on unlocked, even though you're rank 1, as opposed to not, you don't get access to it till you're 45. So you can use your prestige and get it from level 1 and just use it. And basically, it would let you re-roll your care packages, and they took that away. And now I just basically blew a prestige token on that.
Yeah, you have very, very, very few prestige tokens to have permanent unlocks, and I agree.
They didn't refund that prestige token when they made these changes.
Nope.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And that was, I ran that class basically because I had care package, care package, glided bomb, and then emergency airdrop. An emergency airdrop, you get 3 care packages in 1 drop, and you could re-roll each of those care packages. So, you know, I'm like, I play that 90% of the time. Like, I don't deviate from it because I can. That's what class that is my bread and butter. So, and it's all messed up now. What they changed it to was that you could, once you killed a person, you could walk over their dead body and gain 25 more points towards your kill streak of like total of, I think it was like 400, 500, and then 900. But that 25 points was not worth walking over that dead body and then getting shot.
Yeah, that's a quarter of a kill that you would get in addition, but you're exposing yourself, to the entire battlefield at that point, trying to go pick up a little token.
Hey guys,
Don't mind me.
Oh, that dead body icon that was over that guy, I'm going to run over there where you're looking at and then die.
Yeah.
Stupid.
So,
All right, Lion, what you got?
oh, so
Or sorry.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
sure.
only other thing was that I've been playing PC Builder Simulator. It's one of those games that don't look at me like that. Basically, you're a tech guy and then you repair the computers. It was like $5 on Steam, and it's one of those games where I only have like 5 or 10 minutes, but it wastes the time between that 5 and 10 minutes, and it's nothing that you have to like sink a whole bunch of time in, but it passes time if you're looking for something to do.
So wait. You're a tech guy.
You're a tech guy.
You're simulating fixing IT issues.
Exactly.
Oh, this sounds either totally awesome or maybe the lamest thing ever.
Like I said, I mean, it's not something like, oh, I gotta go play it, but it's like, oh, I only have like 30 minutes before the kids get home or something like that. I'll waste the
So
time doing it.
are you actually like interacting with like computerized people, or is it just the actual hardware itself
Like,
that you're...
they send you email, hey, my system's broke, I don't know what's wrong with it, and then you bring their PC in, and then you troubleshoot the PC, and then you replace the parts that are broken, and then fix it, and then send it back to them.
I was gonna say, because if you could like just berate the people for being morons about that would make the game worth playing.
Yeah, but that's it.
okay, I have no. I
I'm
have
sorry,
no
it's
comment.
not your Star
No.
Wars battle roll,
No further comment.
Clan of Clash.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Okay. Star Wars Clan of Clash game.
Yeah.
I have continued to be playing MLB The Show. San Diego Studios just released an update.
I will say that
last...
it's more exciting than that game.
Anyway, they introduced a update. They put in the Team Epic programs for each individual team, so you can work on for lack of a better term, a quest to unlock a really strong card for your Diamond Dynasty team. And you can do one for each team. So I started with the Royals, started with a rookie Mike Moustakas, and have worked my way up to a rookie Johnny Damon. I'm very excited about the rookie Johnny Damon. And the next 2 cards that I will get are a postseason flashback of Kelvin Herrera from the 2014 playoffs, when he was dominant against the...
Back when he was awesome.
back when he was able to pitch. Back when the Royals had safe situations. And then I think the last one is a George Brett All-Star from the 80s.
Nice.
So those came out. So I've been playing a lot of that. Mostly I play against the AI. I play against the computer. I don't play against real people very often because, to be honest, I'm not that good, and some of these guys are really good. So I don't. I lose when I play in the PvP arenas in that game. I lose more often than I win, for sure. So I generally stick to the AI content. and it's fun. It's fun to play the baseball game. I enjoy it. Like Triple alluded to, I've also been playing my Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, not Clan of Clashes.
No, I know. Two separate games. Star
Two
Wars,
separate
Clan
games.
of Clash. Yes, I know.
Clash of the Lightsabers.
Clash of Clans is the name of the actual game you're trying to refer to. I've been playing a lot of that. The Grand Admiral Thrawn event came back into the game this past week, so I was able to unlock Grand Admiral Thrawn. I was very excited about that as a character. Otherwise, I haven't been doing a ton. Just, playing it every day, collecting characters, building up. We're trying to get my guild, my guild that I'm in, we're trying to get to a point where we can defeat the heroic tank raid. It's a raid that's set, like, everybody in the guild can participate in this, and it's like a big shared health pool the boss has, so you can, like, chip away at it. Each individual person, like, chips away at it, and then it tells you, like, how you did compared to the rest of your guild on who did the most damage. So I'm trying to kind of build teams that are going to be good against this tank, so that we can actually kill the highest rank of the tank and get the best loot. So you get a General Kenobi progress, and eventually can unlock a General Kenobi, who is
Nice.
That would be really cool. So that's what I've been doing. What you got?
Cool. Well, as Triple said, we've kind of stopped playing Call of Duty. Well, okay. I guess I was the one that formally came out and just said I'm done with Call of Duty.
Well,
After
I was gonna give it one more try to see if I could adapt to the changes. But I mean, I was right there with you, anyways.
Yeah. It just got to the point where I turned into someone different when I played that game. You could tell we were all angry. Nobody was actually having fun with it. We were just playing together to play together, I guess, but just cursing and yelling and...
Hey guys, you want to play with each other tonight? Yeah, okay.
Well, I mean, and I had legit fun with this game when it first came out, but not...
It was always difficult playing with certain people that, like, if you don't have, like, a full team, the other people run over and then flip the spawn and you can't control it. And
it's hard to play PvP oriented games without either a full crew or at least a majority crew. And that's always been the case.
So I'm done with Call of Duty, so that's the end of that.
And I really wanted to, like, contact Sledgehammer and be like, can I get my money back for the DLC pack, because you totally screwed this game up. And it was literally, like, what, the second month of DLC? I mean,
it seemed... Well, it just seemed like it took forever to come out with DLC.
Mm-hmm.
For a game that is going to have a year shelf life, I kind of expected the DLC to come out a little bit sooner. But, I mean, it's their prerogative, and they're going to make gobs of money on it anyway.
Their best bet would have been releasing Modern Warfare 2 remastered with multiplayer, but that's not going to happen.
I expect that to come out when Infinity Ward does the next... Whenever their turn is to make a Call of Duty game. You might see it then, but... Well, and the rumors are that it's only going to be the campaign, right?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not multiplayer. What they're going to do is they're going to release Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered only campaign, and then the Black Ops 3, I think it's 3, I don't know the exact number, is going to be multiplayer only. There's going to be no campaign.
Interesting. Huh. We shall see. I also downloaded a game. We saw a commercial for this at bowling, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And Wes goes, oh, that kind of looks like a Star Wars game. I bet that'd be kind of neat. So I downloaded the Marvel Strike Force free-to-play game. And it is literally the same game as the Star Wars.
It's almost identical. We looked at it on Monday night, and it's pretty much a carbon copy.
So PUBG and Fortnite, basically. Same thing.
So PUBG and what Fortnite ended up being, not what the Fortnite actually promised it was going to be.
Right. Have you guys played any of those?
God no.
No.
Like I was excited about Fortnite when I thought it was going to be like Left 4 Dead with building.
Right.
Like I thought that was going to be really cool. And then they said, "Oh, hey, this PUBG game is really popular. Let's put in a battle royale thing in Fortnite." And then they just stopped developing the PvE side. So
It
no.
almost like everything you get into is like this is exactly the same model to the T that PUBG is, and that's just ridiculous. I mean, if there was a, I know you.
It's not, but it's not. It's not really ridiculous because it's really popular, and there's a lot. Just because the three of us don't do it doesn't mean that it's
No,
not. Like,
I
incredibly
played it on the
popular.
PC, and it's fun on the PC as long as you have multiple people, like a person with you. Uh, the single player aspect of it is not as fun, but if you have like team, like you can do up to two people, up to four people. I haven't played the four, played the two. It's better having you last longer. You know, you have somebody watching your back while you're looking for weapons or something like that. Um, but the other
Again,
thing that Fortnite has for it is it's free. I mean, they're just the battle royale part is free to play whenever you don't have to pay for it. So that's why it's so popular. It's free.
Yeah. But yeah, this Marvel Strike Force has been fun to play, kind of just in free time. A couple minutes here, a couple minutes there, and
that's what I
try to
like.
get some.
Yeah, that's what I like the most about those mobile games is that you really can just pick it up, do something for 30 seconds, 45 seconds, a minute, put it back down, and
Yeah.
you pick it up, put it down, pick it up, put it down, all
Well,
the
and
time.
there's just gobs of daily objectives like, well, do 3 of these matches or
Yeah,
win do 2 of these things, and yeah, they just give you that little piece of the candy, the little.
they have the carrot. They have the carrot
Yep,
out in front of you, and they just lead you along. Just lead
exactly.
you along.
And then the other thing that I've gotten to play a little bit is MLB The Show 18.
PlayStation Master Race.
You did it.
Yeah, I kind of did.
Wow.
So yeah, I've gotten to play it twice basically, and it is incredible. It's everything that I was hoping it would be, and everything that I've been missing for the last 10 plus years, not having a baseball game.
PlayStation Master
Tuesdays
Race.
are not going to be for Xbox anymore. So that's what
That's
you were
not.
doing Tuesday. I see how it is.
No,
He
we were
wasn't.
out late.
He was out late. I can confirm. He texted me a little after 10 o'clock asking if we wanted to play some show, and I was already getting ready to go to bed. I had expected him to be on at like 7:30.
No, it was late. Okay, so I worked a ton of overtime last week at work, and I've already worked a ton of overtime this week. Plus, we had church group that night, and I was just out late, and I was like,
But
not
if you did it,
interested.
you would be playing the show.
It is like all that I want to play right now. I'm not going to lie.
He doesn't want to be recording this podcast right now. He would rather be playing the show.
I can see it like out of the corner of my eye.
All right, let's just end it. We'll call it good.
No.
What were we at? We're at
Hey.
18 minutes. Great podcast. He's like,
No,
what? Huh? I don't know what you're talking about, guys. Yeah, sure. Go ahead with that.
I've
Home run.
Who's hosting this again?
So, like I said, I've really gotten to sit down and play it like twice. And the first time I started my road to the show, which is where you create your own character and then you get drafted and all that stuff. So I'm a left field prospect that got drafted by the Oakland Athletics in the 23rd round. And so I'm playing in Double A right now, and you have to obviously play the game and try to improve, and then you get called up to the next level, and then maybe, if you're lucky enough, to the major leagues.
Okay,
So-
hold on. We're not going to do the face palm from the guy who's playing PC Tech Repair Simulator. Okay? Not going to happen.
It's baseball. I mean, it's the same thing you guys are doing as simulating, except every once in a while you hit the ooh, fastball, hit the ball. Oh
Yeah,
no,
but
it's a curveball.
It's still a skill-based game.
Oh yeah.
There's hand-eye coordination that is required.
How long
Yeah,
does it
'cause
take you to get one game down?
Well, in the road to the show, they're pretty quick because, like, for me being a left fielder, it fast forwards like to every at bat, and then any play that you're involved with out in the field. So, you start a game and it's automatically in the bottom of the second inning, and it's my turn to bat. I bat, and then it fast forwards to the fourth inning. Oh, you watch the batter hit a ball. It's a pop fly to me. I catch it. Next one, it's fifth inning.
So
it's my
you
next
know
turn
that
to
it's
bat,
coming to you. It's not like
yes.
Right, but it could be, a grounder that gets through the infielders and you have to throw it in, or it could be a fly ball to the wall and you have to adjust on the fly. And
sounds so interesting.
It is.
No, since you're a trader to the Xbox, do whatever you want. So did you go new or did you buy used?
No, I bought a new one, but it's not a Pro or anything. It's just the PS4 Slim, thin, whatever the small one. It's literally like half the size of the Xbox One.
Yeah.
So, and then the second time that I've played it, I got to start my Diamond Dynasty team. So that's where you get to open up packs of cards and you try to unlock new players and accumulate
cards, not like
digital cards. Yes, yeah. Sorry. And you try to accrue the best lineup based on those players. And the coolest thing about this is that you can have certain guys' rookie cards from 5-6 years ago, or on my team I have Ryan Sandberg from 1977. He's my third baseman. So it's really kind of cool. My team is terrible.
You can customize your team. There's so many players and so many cards that you can get. I mean, it's basically like playing fantasy baseball.
Yeah, Madden does the same thing. You can.
Yeah, so all of the sports games nowadays do it. Madden does it, NHL does it, MLB The Show does it. But it's
fantasy over time, just basically any day.
It's such a cool mode. Yeah. It's such a cool mode. Like I'm playing my top 5 in my lineup right now is as I'm doing the Royals Epic, you're accruing stats for Royals players that's part of the quest is you have to do like 500 plate appearances, 100 singles, 20 home runs, 20 steals, all with Royals players. So I'm going rookie Johnny Damon, live series Whit Merrifield, rookie Mike Moustakas, live series Salvador Perez, and live series Lucas Duda is my top 5.
So you're just accruing those stats much quicker because you're stacking.
I'm playing more roles. Yeah,
sure.
So
that makes sense.
It's for a baseball fan. It's a lot of fun.
I'll believe you.
Yep.
I'm not a baseball fan, so
we know.
Yeah.
All right. We will move on to the BS of the week. I don't have any BS of the week. Obviously, we didn't play Call of Duty this week, so I don't have anything there. Lion, I think you mentioned pre-show that you had a little.
I do.
Bit you wanted to share.
So, in MLB The Show, the company that makes the game, San Diego Studios, is that they try to be pretty relevant's not really the right word. They try to be on top of things when it comes to like events. So, and like different things you could do in the game. And Minnesota and Cleveland played a 2-game series in Puerto Rico, Tuesday and Wednesday of this week. So they had an April event going that said if you play against the Twins on Veteran, which is there's 5 difficulties. It's the second one. While they're playing Cleveland and Puerto Rico, then you get a reward. Like it was like some XP. So I did that and beat Veteran because Veteran's pretty easy. And then there was a follow-up. Since they played 2 games, there was a follow-up play against the Indians on a Hall of Fame difficulty. Hall of Fame difficulty is the 4th difficulty. Legend is 5. So I played against the Indians on Hall of Fame difficulty, knowing that I haven't ever played anything above Veteran. So this was a 2-step difficulty increase. So I didn't expect to win. And sure enough, first inning, I give up a 2-run homer to Michael Brantley, and I'm down 2-0. And I'm just like, this is going to be fine. It's going to be fun. I'll just get slaughtered, and it'll be good practice. I score 4 runs in the bottom of the first inning, and I'm like, okay, maybe I can actually get some hits off of this guy. It was Carrasco, and so when the MLB The Show, you set a starting rotation of 5 players, and it randomly picks which one of your starters is going to be selected, right? I didn't have to face Kluber, but I did have to face Carrasco. Like,
Yeah.
I was really hoping I had to face like Josh Tomlin or something like that to make it a little easier, but no, I had to go up against Carrasco. Well, I scored 4 on Carrasco in the first inning. We get to the top of the 8th, and it's 4-3. I'm ahead, and I bring in Josh Hader, my bullpen ace. Like, I dominate with this guy, and his slider's nasty, his fastball's nasty, his changeup is good. And I was thinking, I'm going to bring him in. We're going to go lights out. It's going to be the end of the game. And I throw what I felt like was a really good fastball down and away, and the AI guessed right. 2-run home run, 470 some odd feet to dead center. Dead center. And now I'm down 5-4. And I'm just like, oh, you've got to be blanking kidding me. So I was so mad. I like hit my hand on the ground. Brantley.
Oh.
Got me twice in that game. Lefty. Got me.
Of course.
Yeah. So we go to the bottom of the 8th. And I'm pretty demoralized at this point. But bottom of the 8th, I'm trying to play it out. I hit a solo shot with Lucas Duda to tie the game up at 5.
Go Royals.
I didn't score again, so it was still tied going into the 9th. But I was really hopeful that I'd be able to stick it out. Well, the Indians scored 5 in the top of the 9th inning on a grand slam from Edwin Encarnacion. And I lost 10-5. So I didn't expect to win. I took the lead in the first. You'll notice I didn't score from the first inning until the 8th inning.
Dropping that carrot in front of you again.
Yeah. Yeah. So
like that old guy with the dollar bill with the fishing pole.
You gotta be quicker than that.
Do you guys like when we played Madden back in the day, right? Like you could be up 21 or 28 points going into the end of the game,
and it will catch the person up. Yeah,
you'd always only win by 3 or 7.
Yeah,
because the computer would just get better and better the later the game was in, and they would just like catch up to you or win at the very end when they had no business doing so. That's what I felt like what happened last night.
Well,
I felt like
it's like in Madden, like whenever you increase the difficulty, it really like just handicaps you because it gives you like more chances to fumble as opposed to the
it's the skill of the game being different.
Yeah.
So that's my BS of the week. I didn't anticipate winning, and then I had the lead going into the 8th inning. I had my best reliever in the bullpen come out in the 8th inning and blew it, and I was not thrilled.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that stinks.
Lefty.
I know.
Killing.
Occasionally, hitters will just guess right and put a great swing on a great pitch, and just sometimes that happens.
Well, the computer knew what you were throwing. So.
The computer always wins. All right, let's move on. So, a couple weeks ago, it's probably been months ago, I guess, Lion and I kind of posed this question to each other at bowling, or I posed it to him, I suppose. And I thought it'd be interesting to kind of talk about this. So, the topic I want to talk about is, why do you play video games? So what kind of brought this on was, I don't know, we were talking about Star Wars Battlefront.
It was Murphy.
Listen. Yeah, I think we were talking about Star Wars Battlefront in some capacity with Call of Duty mixed in there and Halo and everything. And it got to me asking you about Star Wars, like why, I guess what appeals about the game to you, and it was just vastly different from what appealed to me about it. So it was clear, it was obvious really quickly that for many years when we played Halo, Triple, you, me, and all of our crew, you know, it was this weird, rare conglomeration of it was fun, it was entertaining, but we also played for the competition. Like we were trying to win every game, and we were really mad if we didn't because we were really good at the game. And it's also that social connection where it's a weekly, or okay, I'm not gonna lie, back in college it was like 4 times a week.
Daily.
Almost daily, and that was our social
Until your
connection. That's how
internet
we
dropped
stayed.
to the red.
Yeah, because they, yeah, weekly
Throttled
bandwidth
you.
allowances at college. Yes. So I feel like for us it was a really rare, that perfect storm. It was just timing in our lives, the game, and how it affected us. It was kind of, it hit everything for me, at least at that. And that's obviously not what, you know, Lion was expressing with Star Wars Battlefront, where, and I'll let you explain this, but where you were trying to play the game for fun, and you don't care if you, not necessarily that you don't care if you win or lose, but I mean your objective is to play the game and have fun doing it. And I was trying to argue that, well, you can't have fun if you're not winning in the game.
This was a good philosophical discussion that we had. I mean, this has been a couple months ago. I mean, this has been December, because it was right around when Call of Duty came out. That was when Battlefront came out, was just November, December-ish, and we were having, the initial discussion was about the pay-to-win boxes, and how could you have fun playing a game when you know that the playing field's not even. Like, you can't have fun if you're not winning. And you and I probably will remember this conversation for a long time, because it almost got heated, which is unusual for us. But it ultimately, for me, what it comes down to is, like, this is a game. Like, this is something that you do to have fun. And so if you're doing it and you're not having it fun, you're doing it wrong. Like, that's all there is to it. Like, you can, so the outcome of playing the game can be frustrating or enjoyable, or both of those things. It can be frustrating and enjoyable at the same time. But you can't, the fun factor, to me, can't increase or decrease based on the results. Battlefront and PvP games like that are a good example. Like, if I'm in a Call of Duty squad and I go out and, I mean, nobody wants to go like 0-30.
I know one guy
kills,
that does.
0 kills. We're not going to talk about Attila on this podcast, okay?
That's not who I was talking about.
Oh, burn.
I'm not talking about Mike either.
Like, so obviously nobody likes to do that, right? Like, that specifically is not fun. It's not fun to get up, walk out of the building, get shot, respawn in the building, get up, walk out of the building, get shot. Like, that's not fun, right? Like, so that's an extreme example. But if you go, I don't know what I would usually go. Let's say I go 8-14, kill 8 kills, 14 deaths, and throw some assists in there. And we lose. I had fun. Like, I'm playing the game, and if losing becomes a greater impact on your fun than actually playing the game, then I would say that you're doing it wrong. And, like, you probably should either, one, reevaluate your life choices, or two, like, find a new game or a new outlet for this, because these are meant to be games and they're meant to be fun. And you can beat your head against a raid boss in a game like World of Warcraft for 3 hours, and if you come away with it mad because you didn't beat the boss, like, you missed the point. Like, the point is you're experiencing this and trying to achieve this that you haven't achieved yet, and you're trying to work together as a group to do this. And yeah, you didn't get it done tonight, but you know that you've built on something that you work for, like, in the future. And that part is fun. And if you don't enjoy that part, then don't do it. And I think ultimately that's the conclusion that we came to with Battlefront and the pay to win environment in the first place. Is like, if a fair environment where everybody starts on a level playing field and you don't have the people that spend hundreds of dollars to get the better weapons right away, and you're playing against these people and it's not fair, like, if that bothers you, then, like, don't play that. Don't sit on the forums and bitch about it because, well, this isn't fair, and Jimmy just got his mom's credit card and spent $500 on all these guns, and now I can't beat him even though I'm way better than he is. Just don't do it. Don't play the game. /end rant.
My whole theory on the thing was that, I mean, I had more fun going over to a house, hooking up 4 Xboxes or 16 Xboxes, and playing till 1 or 2 in the morning.
Did you say 16 Xboxes?
Yeah. I mean,
did that actually happen one time?
Yeah, when Halo 2 came out, everybody had their own. Yeah, everybody had their own TV basically. I mean, and this was even before the flat panels. I had this huge 30-inch TV. I say huge, but I mean the thing's like this deep, and it took 2 people almost to carry it. And I would load that up in a vehicle and take it over to the guy's house, and then hook the Xbox so we'd have our own TV to play on. I mean that was it didn't matter if we win or lost. I mean lose. I mean it's one of those things that it was a joint of both the things, the competition and the atmosphere of it. Playing at the on your couch just by yourself. I mean, granted you have headsets and everything like that, but I mean that takes part of it away. But that's the only way you can do it now. I mean, there is no system link, and everybody has their own thing and living in different places and can't get 16 people together to play. Even whenever it was like 4-on-4, I can remember that time that it was me, you, and Landon, and then I can't remember who the fourth, but I think it was Seth. But we played like rockets on Hang'em High, and for like it was like 100, yeah, it was like 100 kills, and even if you lose and it's a competitive game, that's like the fun part. But most nowadays, it's like there's so much like error between your Xbox and their Xbox that it feels like it's actually like, no, I should have killed that guy. If it was an even match and like, yeah, they killed me, whatever, that's fine. But it's the BS that where lag or, I mean, there's just so many variants that cause somebody to have an upper hand, and they might not be as good.
Yeah. And ultimately, that was, Zach, you hit my point like right on. It was the point that I tried to make to Chubbles was like, they cannot be equal. The fun factor and the competition factor cannot be equal. One of them has to win. So you can either like have fun, or you can win. Now you can win while having fun. That's totally fine. But if you can't lose and have fun at the same time, then that winning-losing factor becomes more important than having fun. If you can have fun, whether you win or lose, then the fun factor becomes more important, and the competition takes a back seat to that. One of those two feelings has to be greater than the other.
Right, and that's probably why on Xbox Live it's more. I mean, it's more winning is better because, I mean, it's you on a couch and talking to somebody over the internet, as opposed to everybody else crowding around one TV. You know, back in my day, still.
Yeah. I I think there is a lot of merit to what you're saying, Lion.
But
I well, okay. I think at least for Triple and I again, yes, LAN parties, I, the best. It's the
totally,
best experience. It's just like fantasy drafts, a
absolutely.
in-person draft where everyone is there talking trash with each other in person. Infinitely better than an online draft where no one is
Yep, not even
conversing at all.
close. Not even close.
Yes, driving up to Jasper on the weekend to your parents' house, and we would just chill with 6 or 8 guys or whatever, and yeah, we would win, lose. It didn't matter. We had so much fun playing the game. But I think that sort of it evolved, and that's what led to the competitiveness with everything. We loved Halo so much, and we played it so much. We got really good at it, and that led to us being so much more competitive. And I bet probably more than just a little playing with our friend Johnny Bates probably fan that flame a lot. There are words that I have never heard before coming out of a human's mouth. Phrases that I thought would send you to prison if you said it to people. And the art of trash talking is a very interesting skill, and he was a master at it. He perfected it. And I'm sure that has just, perverted my outlook on gaming. I think is what has happened. Just over time, that competitiveness is just driven and driven and driven, and that's why we played, as opposed to just playing to have fun. But I think with Halo, the game changed, and we were expecting it to stay the same. So when it got to the point where Halo 5 kind of, to me, swings back to that Star Wars Battlefront 2, where people were paying to have the advantage when we were used to a game where everyone was on an equal playing field. And it was frustrating for me trying to play a game that wasn't what I expected it to be.
No, I mean, I
So,
really agree that you can't, to me, you can't have fun with a game that you're totally outmatched. I mean, you have to have, like, the possibility of the battle swinging one way or another. And if you're overmatched by a weapon, then I mean, there's no chance of the possibility of winning, and especially in like a first-person shooter or something like that. It you're just the
Why?
even
Why?
why not?
Yeah.
I mean, you have better weapons, so I mean that can compensate for some skill. I mean, it
Can doesn't always necessarily. It
no.
does. Wouldn't it make it better? In fact, if you played against some guys that you knew had better guns than you, but you beat them anyway because you are better skilled than they are, wouldn't that give you more chutzpah about winning that game?
satisfaction.
No, I mean,
Yes, it would. Don't
no.
lie.
The
Beating
one,
somebody that has paid a lot of money that you didn't, and you beat them, would make you feel better than winning a normal game.
what I
That's the
remember,
way the human works.
the thing I remember the most is playing Halo 2, I believe it was, or Halo 3, and it's where they actually kept your track of how many bullets you shot. And we played this team, and we lost by like 2 or 3, I think it was. And we're all four of us agreed not to fire a single shot, like the whole match. All you would do is beat downs and stickies only. And this is the other thing that I miss so much more is the trash talking at the end of the post game, because I don't know how many times we got beat, but we won post game, so it made it work. It was worth it. But anyways, they're like, "Oh yeah, guys, we beat you, ha 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 ha," and then we're like, "Hey, look at our shots fired," and then they looked at it and it's 0, 0, 0, 0, and they're like, "Uh oh," and then left. We still lost, but I mean, it was an even playing field. But we just decided, hey, you know what? We're gonna go stickies and beat downs all
And that's fun. And you lost and you didn't care. So the fun was more important than the outcome. Thank you for making my point.
No, but what I'm saying is that, you know, it's competitive. But if it
Sure.
becomes uncompetitive because they have stuff that works better than yours, that kills you faster, that, you know, it's not
Right.
fun. So I'm not going to play it, you know.
And that's so then don't.
Right.
And that's my point. Don't play it. If the gameplay itself is not enough for you to enjoy the game, then don't play the game.
Right. And we agree at that point.
Yeah, it becomes what, either a morality stance, I guess, as far as like spending extra money on a game to
I'm not
remain
going to do it.
competitive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel the exact same way.
And that's what sucked, is because Halo 5, we didn't know that it was like that. But if I would have known what it was, I wouldn't have paid for it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, immediately made me disinterested in the game once they went to that model for the multiplayer. Which I'm sure they made a lot more money doing that too, because you do have the competitive people that are like, not so fast.
Oh, I don't have
Your
to. I
wallet.
don't have to wait to unlock that. Here's $50.
Which I know Toonses would talk about, like, well, I went ahead and spent a couple of extra dollars for this. We're like, why are you doing this? But that made it fun for him, so that's why, you know.
And the game type in Halo 5 sucked too. I mean,
That's beside the point. Yes, it was awful. Go back real quick on. I had to mute myself just because it rekindled all these memories of.
You
Halo
remember
2.
you remember the sticky battle.
I specifically remember
I'm
those
sure
games.
you
Like,
do.
all right, guys, no shots fired this game. But even then, like with Halo 2, and I think Halo 3 had post game
yeah,
chat, didn't it? Oh my gosh. That was just the best, because we always had this unspoken rule that was like, whether we win or lose, it didn't matter. We're going to win the post-game trash talk chat at whatever cost.
and we had Johnny, so we won like 90% of the time.
Yes.
In a totally subjective, non like not something that you can quantify, totally subjective. You guys won post game.
No, we were willing to wait in the post-game lobby until they quit out, because we would frustrate them so bad. That's how we would.
Yeah, I mean, there's been times
decide
that it
who
was
the
like
winner
10,
was.
15 minutes in post-game lobby. Like, we're not going to leave. And they're like, oh, come on, guys. Like, it was a battle of wheels. And, you know, we could have played 2 or 3 more games after that. But why? You know?
Yeah.
You got to get that post-game lobby.
But those days are over.
Was it post-game or was it pre-game that one time they were like, hey, it's A101. Leave.
I've heard of these guys before. Well, yeah, because there was pre and post game chat. Man, those were the days.
Blue team, you better leave right now. We're gonna kick your butt. Not exactly the words that were used, but
no. All right. Well, I think we've spent a little time on that, and I think it was a good discussion to have, because it's interesting to have different points of view on this. Shall we move on to a little bit of sports talk?
Sure.
Since we didn't really do it all last time. Besides our bracket talk, but
yeah, let's do it.
So fantasy baseball is in full swing right now. Triple's not exactly, into that, but
Yeah, if you see
Um,
him just like completely drop out of the call here for 5 minutes, that's he's
My webcam is off because I'm flipping you guys off now. I'm joking.
so we're, hot and heavy into the season already. I participate in 3 different leagues, and I know Lion is in quite a few more than that. Um, well, I guess I'm in 3.5 because you and I co-own a score sheet team, but no, it's going pretty well. The the league that I spend the most time, most interest, most time researching and caring about, I'm currently significantly in the lead, which is pleasing to me. But
like
I was in,
this far in the lead.
yeah, a very big gap. But the exact same thing happened last year, and I ended up finishing 7th out of 9 teams. So I'm not exactly jumping off. Last year I was like elated. I was always talking about it, but this year I'm like, all right, let's just
Yeah.
wait.
You don't have the order in for your jersey already?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
But yeah, teams are going well. Wes, how are your teams going?
Awful. I'm having an absolutely atrocious start to my fantasy season. It's not even, it's so bad. So I'm doing a couple of new formats this year. We have the NL only league, that you just talked about, and then we have our 2 mixed leagues. I am doing okay. I think I'm 1-1 in both leagues, both of those, and I'm like in 6th place out of 9 teams in the NL only league. Are you 2-0 in both?
Yeah.
Nice. And then so I started. I've got a couple of new formats. I've got a couple of head-to-head points leagues, and then I have that score sheet league. And for the most part, I'm doing poorly in all of them, except for one of my head-to-head points leagues where I had the second fewest points scored one week, and I won because I was playing against the guy that scored the least. And then the other 2 weeks so far, I have had the second and 4th most points scored in that week and lost both of those matchups. So, my team, I think my team is probably still pretty good. I've been, like everybody else, dealing with injuries and pitcher ineffectiveness. Jose Quintana's killing me in that league, specifically. Killing me in that league. And Anthony Rizzo, I have him in 3 out of the 6 leagues, and he's been hurt or bad.
Ow, my back.
Yeah, that guy. He's been hurt and or bad all season so far. I think he was 3 for 4 today though, so he may be on the upswing. But like you said, we're 2.5, 3 weeks into the season.
Yeah.
You can't really make any judgments about where your team and your players are at until, in my opinion, the middle of May, maybe Memorial Day, and then you can kind of take a look at what your team, like 2 months in, what your strengths and weaknesses are, if there are any trades that you can make, if there's any guys that you just need to let go and get rid of because even if they do come back and help you, there's somebody else out there on the waiver wire or through trade that is going to help you now and not necessarily a month from now. That's one of the hardest things about excuse me. That's one of the hardest things about fantasy sports is knowing when to get rid of the guys that suck and knowing when to pick up the guys that are playing well.
Or just be patient.
Yeah, it was exactly like knowing when to get rid of the guy that sucks, or like just know that he's gonna be better, 6 weeks from now, and just have this guy sit on your bench if he's not doing very well. Have him sit on your bench until he starts hitting again. Like make him prove that he belongs in your lineup. And of course, disclaimer: none of this is impacting into like real life. Like this is fantasy sports, right? Like so. I'm not going to get upset at Anthony Rizzo, like the actual person, for going like 2 for 20 in his first 20 at bats. Like that's stupid. Like so when I say put him on the bench, it's not like, yeah, fool, I'm benching you because you suck. I'm like, I'm going to put you on my bench because you're not playing well and you're going to hurt my team if I leave you random fantasy number person in my lineup.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we'll see. It's early in the season. I try not to get too down. I'm more interested in just watching baseball right now and watching people and see how they do as to compared to actually making a lot of changes to a fantasy team right now.
Sure. Well, we'll watch the baseball if it happens.
They
There's
play it.
been so many postponements this year due to weather. It's ridiculous.
It's cold.
Yeah, it's cold. Cardinals are off to an okay start. We lost today to the Cubs, but we beat the Cubs the other day, so it kind of evened itself out. We're 10-8. Eh. They're kind of frustrating to watch with a shaky bullpen, with the exception of Jordan Hicks, who, oh my gosh, if you're a baseball fan at all, interested in watching good young talent, watch some clips of Jordan Hicks. This dude is incredible. I watched him last night throw some pitches to Wilson Contreras from the Cubs. 102 miles per hour, two-seam fastball.
Guns juiced.
The movement, just the downward tilt on that, filthy nasty.
By the way, we had to talk about Mark Sanchez being busted for PEDs.
Oh boy. Yeah, I was going to get to football here in just a second. Anyway, you got a Royals update there, Lion?
Yeah, they're 3-13. There's a really good stat that is not mine. I credit to one of the guys I follow on Twitter. 3 of the Royals' bullpen arms, Justin Grimm, Blaine Boyer, and Brandon Maurer, have a combined 16.2 ERA this year through 16 games.
Well, didn't some of those guys get sent down?
The rest of Maurer did, yes.
Yeah.
The rest of the bullpen has a 2.83 ERA. So I know I was talking to you about this the other day. The bullpen is bad, but I think that the Royals can make some intelligent transactions and extract the bad elements from the bullpen and hopefully add some better elements. That's always the issue. Like, yeah, this guy's bad. Who are you going to get? Because there's some guy out there that's better than he is. I mean, you would hope so if these guys are trotting out a 16.2 ERA. But, who? Yeah. Otherwise, you're just going to keep trotting this guy out there. So the Royals lost a doubleheader the other day. I think they lost yesterday like 15-5. Danny Duffy had a great start on the second game of the doubleheader on Tuesday because the game was canceled. Oh, yeah. Game postponed in Toronto due to piece of roof missing. There had been so much ice at the Rogers Center in Toronto that it had created a hole in the roof.
Yeah.
So they played a doubleheader, day-night doubleheader on Tuesday. Duffy pitched a great game on Tuesday night. 6 innings, no hit, or 6 innings, no runs, and the bullpen completely screwed the pooch, and the Royals are 3-13.
Yeah.
So we're already looking to like 2020 or 2021 at this point. It was a good run in 14 and 15, making the World Series and then winning the World Series in 15.
So are they tanking on purpose?
Doesn't look like they're going to make it back. It doesn't look like they're tanking on purpose. I mean, their offense is scoring runs. I just think that they've got some bad pitchers in their bullpen.
Yeah. Yeah, because the Royals added a lot of pieces late in the free agency
to wield a competitive team.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like the top 5 in their offense: John Jay, Whit Merrifield, Moustakas, Salvi when he comes back from his knee injury that he got while hauling luggage, and Lucas Duda. Like those top, I mean, that top 5, that's a legit top 5 in for an average baseball team. Like
sure.
it's not the Nationals or the Dodgers, but I mean that's a competent. We can score 3, 4, 5 runs every game with this top 5. Now, the next 4 are pretty awful, which hurts. But, the rotation's been okay. Duffy's pitched okay. Kennedy's pitched okay. Jake Junis has pitched very well. They could be a 500 team this year. I mean, they've dug themselves a big hole to start the season. to get back to 500. But I mean, with the pieces that they have on offense in the rotation, they could be a 500 team. But that's all they're going to be this year, and probably for the next couple of years.
A funny, I don't really call it a statistic, but funny thing a coworker told me yesterday was, the Royals are undefeated this year when holding the opponents to less than one run.
0 runs.
So,
the Royals have shut out their opponent 3 times. They
yeah,
have 3 wins.
Yeah. So if their opponents score a run, they have lost.
That's a tough stat to swallow right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Triple, I'm going to ask you, what are some of the key football transactions that have happened recently? Because I'll be honest, I've been in full-on baseball mode, and I have not been keeping up with a lot of the football.
Yeah, I think a better question to ask is, hey, Triple, talk about football.
Well, really no transactions recently has been made. I mean, free agency's pretty much over as far as signing key people. The safety market's still a little slow. I mean, there's 2 good safeties out there that nobody's getting. So I don't know if they're just waiting for the draft to come about and see where they fall. The schedule did come out today.
Nice.
Have you looked at the schedule for the Colts?
I have not.
I think, Chubbles, didn't you proclaim earlier in one of our episodes that you're no longer a Colts fan and you're just going to kind of become a Chiefs fan by proxy?
I think that's the plan. I'm abandoning my Colts fandom to become a bandwagon Chiefs fan. Not bandwagon, but yeah, by proximity.
Triple, we got anything on the Chiefs schedule?
I'm pulling it up right now. I also saw a deal where Brady says that he won't play this year unless he has his contract renegotiated for like.
Let's pretend like nobody knows who you're talking about. Who is that?
Brady, Tom Brady.
Tom Brady. Who does he play for?
New England Patriots.
Like, I don't know if you're new to podcasting, but you can't assume that everybody that's listening knows who you're talking about.
Well, if they're staying tuned for the sports portion of it, then like if they got past your baseball, I'm sure that they know that who Tom Brady is.
Touche.
He is among the few that I think are fully recognized by a single last name.
Just say TB12.
TB12.
TB12. But I can't imagine him playing for
anybody else.
Well, no, even like 2 more years. Like I can see 1 more year, but I mean,
he said he wants to play till he's 45.
Jeez.
I mean, you could see that he was definitely getting like old, and it's definitely not there anymore. I mean, it's there obviously because he can still play competitive, but it's definitely not what.
I'm sorry. Did they make the Super Bowl last year?
They did, yeah. But 90% of these football players play past their prime and never go out on top. Like Derek Johnson, man. I mean, he's going to try to play for 1 more year.
Yeah. And
do you even think somebody will sign him?
No.
I mean,
he'll end up being a linebackers coach somewhere.
Same thing with Tamba. I mean, he even said he wants to play more.
Tamba's done.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah.
Jamal Charles still wants to play even after he got cut from Denver.
There's so much talent in those legs. Yeah.
There was.
It's tough. It was. I don't know. I think Brady looked just as good last year as he's looked any of the 10 years prior, and I don't see any reason why he can't do it again next year and the year after that. Like at this point, it's he's gonna have to fail on the field for somebody to believe that that's possible, or he'll have to be like John Elway and just walk away.
There was, and I don't know what they would have had to I don't remember what the Jets. The Jets were pretty close to New England's record, right?
This past year?
Yeah, because I think that they're. I, I don't know. You have to look at that, but I know that there was 3 or 4 games that the Patriots should have lost. Like one was to the Jets, and the only reason that they won that was because of the non-fumble in the end zone.
Yeah, the Austin Jenkins fumble out of the end zone. Yeah. So the Patriots were 13-3 this year,
Oh, were they? Okay, never mind.
and the New York Jets were 5-11.
Okay. At one time that they're
The Patriots scored 458 points this year. Only one other team scored even remotely close to that. The Eagles also scored 457. Shockingly, those two teams were the Super Bowl teams.
so you're saying
The Rams scored more points than both of those teams.
Oh crap, I didn't scroll down far enough. The Rams scored 478.
what the Chiefs score?
Chiefs scored 415.
415.
So still pretty close.
But at one time, the Jets were leading the division, right?
Yeah, they ended the year on a 4-game losing streak.
Yeah,
so it's possible they started off pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, this year, but the Patriots, so yes, if you're remembering back, the Patriots did not get off to a good start this past year. They lost, I think all 3 of those games that they lost in the first 6 or 7 games.
They should have lost the Houston Texans game too.
Yeah, but so, okay, like, we're not gonna play this team should have lost this game and this team should have lost that game. You know why? Because they didn't lose that game. They won that game, and you could look back at 100 different plays in that game and say that they could have done this and they could have done that. That their record is what it is. They are who they are. Tom Brady is probably the greatest quarterback to ever play the game. And he had a really good year last year. So yeah, him not playing for the Patriots this next year would be a huge story.
It'd be weird.
So who would win, Belichick or Brady? On the owner.
Are we playing like backgammon, poker?
No, is the owner would the owner be more?
Is the owner going to side with Brady or Belichick?
Yeah, I'd say he definitely sides with Brady.
No, not at all. Bill Belichick could be the coach of the. I don't think he's going to be, but Bill Belichick could be the coach of the New England Patriots for the next 15 years. Tom Brady's got a maximum 3 years left in the NFL. Why would you side with Tom Brady? That's insane.
The way that
Joe Montana, the unquestionably greatest quarterback in the history of the NFL prior to Tom Brady. I think there's an argument about which one of those two guys is the better quarterback in the history of the NFL now. But unquestionably, if you asked this question 5 years ago, before Tom Brady became Tom Brady, maybe 10 years ago, Joe Montana. Joe Montana did not play his whole career for the 49ers. Joe Montana came and played for these Kansas City Chiefs at the end of his career. So yeah, the owner is going to side with the coach and not the player every time.
I think it's a different relationship between Brady and the owner, man.
I'm going to play dumb real quick. And it's not really dumb because I really don't know. What what is the thing with Belichick and Brady and the owner?
Nobody knows.
I've seen things on the ticker scrolling across about Robert Kraft and talking about Brady and Belichick's relationship, and what are they talking about? Can they only sign one or something?
Garoppolo's deal was up. He was going to have a new contract.
I think he means one, Brady or Belichick.
What?
Right?
Brady won.
Yeah.
Obviously, Brady won.
Yeah, he's not talking about Jimmy Garoppolo.
Well, I'm saying that his contract would have been up, and I have a feeling. I mean, my view on it was that Belichick wanted Garoppolo because he thought Brady was going to retire in the next year or so, and to have your quarterback. And then from everything I heard, Kraft said, "Hey, you're trading, Garoppolo," and he just gave him a second round pick. I mean, you could have got a first round pick out of him. That's what they were wanting the year before, and somebody was going to offer it, and they kept him. I would say that definitely Brady won and will continue to win. Like, if it was an ultimatum, I would say that Brady would stay there and then Belichick would go somewhere else.
That would be interesting.
If not, Belichick would retire. I mean,
He's getting up there kind of in
Yeah.
age too. I mean, it's not like he's a young coach. I don't know. With a 40, what is Brady, 41 now?
Mm-hmm.
40?
You got to look towards the future. I mean,
You have to. Like, he might play another 1 or 2 years. Like, I can't. He did play at an elite level this year. You can't say that he didn't. But how many more years can you expect that out of him? Like, who are the quarterbacks that
You'd
have
have said
played
the
well
same
into
thing
their
3 years
40s?
ago. You'd have said the same thing 3 years ago.
right,
Yeah,
but
you're
how
right.
quickly does it fall, though? I mean,
Oh
it's not.
man,
You could have said that 3 years ago, and look
I
at him.
know, I know. Like,
Where
who
was
are the
DJ
quarterbacks that
last
played
year?
deep into their 40s? Like Vinny
Guys I've never heard of.
Testaverde, uh, uh, Doug Flutie.
Maybe. Jamie Moyer? That's the wrong sport. Sorry.
Hey, just FYI, we are at an hour and 11 minutes.
All right. Well, we can.
Who was
Wrap
worried
this
about
up.
recording length tonight?
Yeah. All right. Basically, the Chiefs' schedule is, and you guys can say what you think on the win. Kansas City versus LA on the opening day.
You're talking Chargers, right?
The Chargers.
Yeah, Chargers. LA Chargers.
Yeah. Chiefs will
Win.
win. The Chiefs. I pick the Chiefs to beat the Chargers every time they play from now until forever
Because of Phillip Rivers.
because I hate Philip Rivers. He's a really good quarterback, and he is a whiny baby, and I
he's
really don't
fun
like
to
him.
watch. Because he throws the best tantrums that
Well, he
better
really
than
does.
better than
Better than
my
my
daughter.
2-year-old.
Yeah.
Yep.
But man, no one wears a bolo tie in a postgame better than him, though. Whew.
Mike, what's your pick?
Chiefs.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Kansas City also. So Pittsburgh is the next week, and at Pittsburgh.
Have the Chiefs ever beat Pittsburgh?
No. Well,
But I'm sure they have at some point. But man, over the last couple years, it feels like we've never beaten the Steelers.
who's the linebacker that retired recently that went to the Patriots from the Pittsburgh?
James Harrison?
Yes, he retired, so he's no longer on there. So Eric Fisher could probably feel a little bit better about going up against them.
A phantom hold.
So
I'm gonna say Pittsburgh.
yeah, Pittsburgh also. San Francisco versus KC at Arrowhead. First
Chiefs.
game at Arrowhead.
Arrowhead. Ding.
Chiefs. Ding.
KC at Denver.
Shout out to those of you who listen to the 06010 Fantasy Football Podcast.
Hashtag 06010. Sorry, continue, Trip.
KC at Denver.
At Denver,
Mm-hmm.
did they get Case Keenum? Is he their quarterback now?
Yeah.
I'll take Denver at Mile High.
I say
KC.
Chiefs.
Yeah. Jacksonville at KC.
That's a tough one. I don't think the offense the Jacksonville's got's going to do anything. Leonard Fournette scares me. I'm worried about the defense. I'd probably still pick the Chiefs.
Chiefs.
I'm gonna go with Jacksonville on that one. And
At home?
then at home, yeah. Blake Bortles, man. MVP right there. Just no. Then October 14th, Kansas City at New England.
Patriots.
Kansas City. Can't ever pick the Patriots. Ever.
And you're not very good at pick them then, because they win a lot.
Not this year. Denver at KC.
You missed one.
You forgot
Oh, sorry. Cincinnati. Well, yeah, we don't need to worry about that one.
Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Cincinnati at Kansas City. Then Denver at KC.
Chiefs.
Yeah.
I'll take Chiefs.
KC versus Cleveland.
Chiefs.
John Dorsey.
It's Cleveland, obviously.
No, this year, guys, you don't understand. This year, they're gonna have a team.
Yeah, it's Chiefs, obviously.
Next one's Arizona versus KC.
At home,
Yeah,
Chiefs.
I'd say Chiefs at home.
yeah, KC. KC versus the LA Rams.
It's going to be on Monday Night Football. At home at Arrowhead. Pre-production meeting, I said Rams. Monday Night Football, though, at Arrowhead, give me the Chiefs.
Wait. You're talking about the Rams game?
Yeah,
That's in LA.
it's in Mexico City.
Oh.
Oh,
Really?
that's the Mexico City game. Never mind. I'll take the Rams.
Yeah, I have to say Rams. Sorry.
They're really good on. They're really good on offense.
I'm gonna go. KC wins, and Marcus Peters gonna give up 3 touchdowns. KC at Oakland. Well, actually, week 12 is their bye. Then week 13 is KC at Oakland.
Chiefs. The fighting John Gruden's don't have a chance.
That's right. he
Taking
is
it
the
back
new
to
coach.
1998.
Yeah, it's probably yeah, Chiefs.
What was that? 10 years, 100 million, or something like that.
I have no idea. It's baseball season.
KC. Baltimore at Kansas City.
Chiefs.
LA Chargers again at KC this time.
Chiefs.
KC at Seattle.
Seattle.
Really?
Yes.
Seattle's not very good.
They don't lose a lot at home. I mean, I know they kind of did last year, but in general, they don't.
Depends
lose a
on
lot
if they sounded up that offensive line, probably.
Yeah.
Didn't they have the world's loudest stadium for like a week?
It was like a month or something like that.
Yeah.
Then
okay.
KC took it back, which game I was actually at.
Yes, you were. I'll say Chiefs on that. Well, it's in Seattle. No, I'll switch. I'll say Seahawks.
KC. December 30th, Oakland at Kansas City.
Chiefs.
Chiefs at home.
So what? 10-6, 10-5.
Let's see. Win, loss. Win, loss. Win, loss. Win, loss. Win, loss, win. I have them going 11-5.
Should be good enough in that division to win the division.
I would think so, especially since I picked them to go 5-1 against their division opponents. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's move this along. We'll hit a little bit of life aspects here before we wrap it up this week. But
So you can get
We've
back
got
to playing
Avengers.
MLB the show, right?
I'm not gonna have time tonight. I'm gonna go to bed. Avengers: Infinity War. Who's excited?
This guy
Next week we're going.
Next
Yep.
Thursday.
driving to Kansas City.
Triple. Yep, Triple and Toonses are driving up. It's gonna be a good time.
So what's your okay? So they have put a lot of like hype, or not really hype, but say do not spoil it for everybody else. So obviously there's something shocking that probably happens. What's your take on it?
Cap dies.
Like Cap dies?
I mean, I think that's a pretty obvious estimation since Chris Evans has already said he's not playing Captain America anymore.
Mike?
I don't know. I have literally tried to avoid any sort of information or news about this movie. I've heard what you're saying, and the rumors I keep hearing are that Tony Stark dies. But
Yeah, that was going to be my guess because I heard, the same thing a while back that Tony's not going to be Iron Man anymore. But
I mean, I get that they're trying to keep everything like spoiler free, but can't you just go look at the comics and see what happens?
well, you're assuming that they follow the comics. And
I mean, you are assuming that, but
do they?
haven't
I
they
haven't read
followed
the
it
comics very
relatively
much.
closely? I mean, the storyline seems pretty much the same.
Nobody reads the comics, man. Come on.
A lot of people that read the
No,
comics.
I know.
So I haven't followed anything. Like you saying that there were like a big no spoilers thing is the first thing I've heard of that because I haven't paid attention to anything about this movie. And the first thing I thought of was Cap must die. So, I mean, it could be Iron Man. I don't know. It could be all of them. How about they lose?
Spoiler, they lose.
I'm gonna say Black Widow sleeps with everybody, and it just creates a super awkward working environment.
Especially with the Hulk while he's transformed.
Jeez.
We're moving on to the next topic.
Yeah, so I wanted to talk a little bit about the Kansas City Corporate Challenge. Now, Triple I, you're probably not as familiar with this as Lion and I are because we've both competed in this the last couple of years, but the Kansas City Corporate Challenge is literally a almost Olympic style competition between different businesses throughout the entire Kansas City metro area. And it's really fun and neat because you're competing against other companies of similar population size. So back at my previous employer, a very large company, we played against other large companies. So it was really neat. Competition was usually pretty stiff in those.
You have more people to pull from.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so now I work at a much smaller company, so we're facing a bunch of other smaller companies. So it kind of makes competition a little easier, typically, not always, but it's pretty fun. The events range anything from basketball, horseshoes, golf, track, darts, pool, bowling, weightlifting.
Is there like a time frame that they have to be employed by? Can you just go get ringers and hire them for like a day?
They do have to be employed, I think, by March 31st, I think is what they say.
It's whatever the waiver date
on their website. Yeah. So it has to almost be like a month or so or something like that. But because, yeah, we've often asked that. Like, because typically, especially for companies like of our size, it is impossible to find women that are A, interested, and B, willing to actually come out and like compete in any of these events. So we always joke, like, if we're gonna have like interviews or something, like, well, did you ask them if they play softball? Would they be willing to come bowl? But no, this coming Saturday, literally day after tomorrow, I am competing in the horseshoes event up in Independence. So, Lion, if you're not busy, you want to come out and watch some hot horseshoes action?
What time? No.
Yeah, thanks, jerk.
You betcha.
It's actually supposed to be kind of rainy and nasty, so it's probably going to be dreadful. But
hope that horseshoe doesn't slip out of your hands.
Yeah, I know. Last year, I think I finished third in our division, but it was by a substantial amount. Like, I could have had the best day, and I probably still would have finished third. So we'll see how it goes this year. But I know, Lion, you and I are probably both going to be competing for bowling this year for our respective companies.
Very
I'm
likely.
actually I'm actually heading up like the guy who's like in charge of that specific event for our company, so I'll make sure I'm on the team.
Yeah, we'll do. I asked our event coordinator when tryouts are going to be, and he didn't have them scheduled yet. So
Yeah.
I've made the team every year for the last 4 years. So I would anticipate, unless we've hired a couple of new supreme bowlers, that I would be on the team.
Yeah.
Showing off my gold medal from last year.
What's the prize? Anything?
It's just, I mean, it's medals and bragging rights.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, and your company gets exposed, like just,
Yeah, it's a networking tool more than anything else.
exactly.
Like we bowled with some guys from Staples last year, and I think I bowled 2 years ago with some people I'd never heard of, like a company I didn't even know existed. So
Yeah, and it's just it's an excuse to kind of just hang out with your coworkers, and it's pretty fun. I know last year for the bowling event, the men bowled at 9 a.m. and I drove all the way across town to Belton. I show up and one of the other guys bowling on our team already had a pitcher of beer and was several glasses in it, like 8:30 when I got there.
he's ready.
It's 1 o'clock somewhere else.
A little beer and a little bowling.
Oh man. But yeah, that should be a lot of fun. So that's going to be several weekends in the next, month and a half, 2 months or so. But you guys got anything going on in the next couple weeks, month?
Negative.
I got a lot going on. Is this related to Corporate Challenge or just in general?
Yeah, just in general.
So,
I don't know if you know this. Our podcast is called Games, Sports, and Life in General.
Yeah, so my daughters are bowling in a bowling tournament in Wichita next weekend. So I'll be in Wichita next weekend doing that. Ruby, get out of the trash can. Be a good dog. Thank you. Totally. Leave that in, Zach.
I was going to ask you, like, is Ruby your daughter?
No, my daughter's not sifting through the trash can at 11:30 at night. Let's see. So we got that going on. I'm playing in a charity golf tournament on May 11th with the church. My wife is traveling a lot the next month and a half, 2 months. So I'm going to have lots of game time and lots of time where I stay up way too late because there's nobody there to make me go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to regret it in the morning. So I'm really looking forward to that. Like, you'd think that I could make this connection and say, okay, don't do that. That hasn't worked in 7 years. I don't know why it would start now. Let's see.
You got state bowling coming up.
Got state bowling coming up in 2 weekends. It's very exciting. We're still waiting on a doubles partner for you, Chubbles. If Tim doesn't get back to you, we're going to have Alan do it. Let's see. We've got, on the gaming front, we've got the official release of the survival game Conan Exiles is coming out on PlayStation May 8th, I believe. So that's exciting. One of my friends that I play games with a lot is really into these survival games, so I told him I'd play this with him. I don't love it, but it's again, it's a social thing. We're doing it so that we can spend time together talking and playing the game. It's just kind of like the background. So
sure.
I think that's about it. Star Wars. Cool. Han Solo's coming out.
That's right.
At the end of May. My daughter actually called me tonight and said, "Dad, I just saw a trailer for a new movie. You'll never guess what it is." And I said, "Is it the new Han Solo movie?" "How did you know that? Are you a mind reader?" I'm like, "No, honey, I've known about this for a while." "Well, why didn't you tell me about it?" "Because I knew if I told you about it more than a couple of weeks in advance, you're going to ask me about it all the time." Hey, is it time for it to be out yet? Hey, are we going to go see it? Have you bought the tickets yet? Hey, can I see the tickets? Can I hold the tickets? What if I do this with the tickets? Can Ruby eat the tickets? So, there are multiple members of my family. We're very excited about.
Nice. Yes.
That's actually one I will probably not go see. I'll wait till it comes out on DVD.
Yeah, we're not surprised.
Yeah. Friday. Guess what comes out Friday?
God of War.
No.
Yes.
Well, okay, yes, but movie wise,
Oh, like tomorrow?
yeah.
Black Panther.
No.
No, it's been out. Nice try.
Well, I meant like on.
Well,
like,
think of what 420 goes with.
Super Troopers 2?
Yes.
Nice.
I asked Lindsay if she wanted to go, and she said no. So
The first one was real good. The first one was real good. I have a feeling the second one is going to be really, really bad. So I'm not going to go watch it in theaters. I will wait for that one to hit HBO.
I will wait as well. I get so. I don't know. I literally haven't even seen a trailer for it yet. When you have this great movie that was
it's
kind
kind
of out of nowhere,
yeah.
like just let it be a good movie. You don't have to make a sequel.
It's probably by default gonna be bad just because you're gonna compare it to the first one.
Exactly. You're gonna have these high expectations.
Was that a pun intended?
High expectations.
Ha. Ha. It wasn't intended, but
I mean, I want to go see it.
I will probably end up seeing it at some point, but I'm not. Probably will not go to the theater to watch it though. Guys, I'm tired. Let's wrap it up.
Last thing I will say that it was pretty funny that my daughter said today was we were headed to school. I was taking her to school, and she's like, "Can we play I Spy?" I'm like, "Okay, whatever." She's like, "I spy something brown." I named off a couple things. She's like, "No, I'll give you a hint. It's the dirt." I'm like, "The dirt?" She's like, "Yes."
I'll give you a hint.
Yeah.
The dirt.
That was, Dad, you are so dumb. You can't figure out what I'm trying to get you to guess, so I'm just going to tell you.
And the other day, we were coming home from somewhere, and she's like, "Dad, do you see this look on my face? This is what I look like whenever I don't understand what you're saying."
That's awesome.
That is.
I love this little girl. She's amazing.
She's pretty funny. So, but that's all I got.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, everyone. Yeah, like and subscribe this channel on YouTube. You can probably find us. Are we on Facebook? I think I've asked that every single episode.
I didn't add it.
Okay.
I'm not in charge of Facebook. Facebook is.
Don't
stupid.
find us on Facebook. But you can find us on Twitter
You can
at
find us on Twitter.
GSL_podcast. You can follow us there. We'll post this episode on there. And all future episodes. So why not? That's all I got, guys. Peace out.
Later.
Have a good week.